Hello everyone, this is Husker Eurocat, welcoming you back to the Cleveland Browns franchise, and today's coverage from First Energy Stadium. It's the Cleveland Browns hosting the Cincinnati Bengals. In our last game against the New York Giants, the Browns dominated the game 40-7. In this game, the Browns face a Bengals team that is vying for the lead in the AFC North. The Bengals are also looking for payback for the Week 7 thrashing that the Browns gave them on their own field 44-13. Donned in their throwback uniforms, the Bengals have the ball first on their own 25, 1st and 10. Andy Dalton goes back to pass, and it's incomplete. Matt Shaughnessy popping the ball out of Marvin Jones' hands. On 2nd and 10, Dalton goes back to pass, and it's complete to Tyler Eifert. Now on 3rd and 13, from the 38-yard line, Dalton passes complete to Giovanni Bernard, but does not move the chains. Browns ball at the 16-yard line. Given to Robert Turbin around the right side and over the 20-yard line. Now on 3rd and 3 from the 23-yard line. Robert Turbin gets the ball, and he does not make the chains either. That brings on Andy Lee to try and pin the Bengals deep. He angles the ball to the right sideline, and the fair catch is missed, and the ball goes out of bounds at the 6-yard line. Now on 2nd and 10, Dalton fakes the handoff and is tackled at the 5-yard line. 3rd and 11 now. And Dalton hands off. No, it's another fake handoff and almost intercepted by Carlos Dansby. That gives the Browns the short field, and from the 39, Stafford sidearms almost intercepted by Adam Jones. Now on 3rd and 7, Stafford rolls right again and hits Benjamin inside the 30 for a first down. Now on 2nd and 10, from the 26, Stafford throws to Josh Gordon. He hit the pylon and is out of bounds just before crossing the goal line, shoved out by Reggie Nelson. That gives the Browns only inches to go for the end zone. So on first down, Stafford gives to Mostert, and he's in for the touchdown. If you'll notice on the replay, the whole left side of that line was just sealed off perfectly. And that gives the Browns the lead 7-0 in this ballgame. 26-yard line for the Bengals, and it's incomplete. I don't know where Andy Dalton was throwing that one. 3rd and 9 now. Dalton back to pass again, and it's one-handed by Tyler Eifert at midfield. Wow, what a catch. Looking at that replay, Tyler Eifert just reached up. It almost looked like he had Stickum on his hand and came down with the reception. Now on 2nd and 10, Andy Dalton goes back, completes it to Mohamed Sanu over the middle. Now on 3rd and 5, out of the Wildcat, Bernard passes the ball to A.J. Green, incomplete. So that brings up 4th down and a punt. Stafford now from the 20-yard line completes it to Josh Gordon, and he's running. He is in the clear, folks. 30, 20, 10, touchdown Browns. Leon Hall gets turned around, a whiff by both Reggie Nelson and Emmanuel Lamour, and Josh Gordon goes the distance, 80 yards for the score. And not bad style points at the end of the run. That puts the Browns up 14-0 in this ball game. And now from their own 25, the Bengals will try to respond. Dalton hands off to Jeremy Hill, and he's to the 30-yard line. Now on 3rd and 5. Dalton goes back to pass and doesn't see any daylight and is sacked. Trying to run out of the pocket. He's tackled by Danny Shelton. Now on 1st and 10 for the Browns. At the 41-yard line. Stafford hands off to Turbin, and he's around the left side to the 45. That brings us to the end of the first quarter. 14-0. Cleveland leads this one. They mark Robert Turbin at the 44-yard line, 2nd and 7. Stafford rolls to his right, hits Turbin out of the backfield, and he's inside the 45 of the Bengals. Now on 1st and 10 from the 42.5. Stafford drops back and throws complete to Gary Barnidge inside the 25-yard line with defensive pass interference on the play. The Browns don't need it, so it's 1st and 10 at the 22. Given to Robert Turbin and up the middle for another first down. Inside the 15 at the 11. 1st and 10, Robert Turbin inside the 10-yard line. Now on 3rd and 7, Stafford goes back to pass, and it's complete in the end zone to Josh Gordon. Just an easy little button hook, and Josh Gordon gets his 2nd reception of the day. Leon Hall just wasn't able to come back for that one. Now 2nd and 10 for the Bengals. At the 18-yard line, Dalton throws left and hits A.J. Green at the 30-yard line. Now on 2nd and 10, Dalton goes back to pass again and hits Marvin Jones at the 45. Now on 2nd and 9 for the Bengals. Dalton in the shotgun, and it's a direct snap to Jeremy Hill, and he loses a yard. So now on 3rd and 10, Dalton goes back to pass, and it's complete to Marvin Jones. Ooh, a nice move gets him the first down. After a clipping penalty, it's now 1st and 23 for the Bengals, and Dalton is decleated by Danny Shelton. 2nd and 32 now. Dalton goes back to pass, and it's complete to Mohamed Sanu inside the 45 of the Browns. 3rd down conversion now, 3rd and 8. Dalton passes right to Brandon Tate, but he does not get the first down. And that brings out Matt Bryant for a 55-yard field goal, and it's up and good. The score is now 21-3. And the Browns from their own 20-yard line. Stafford goes back to pass, and it's complete to Josh Gordon. 20-10, touchdown Browns. Matthew Stafford puts it in the air again. And Leon Hall continues to have trouble covering Josh Gordon. And breaking a diving tackle, Josh Gordon jumps into the end zone, not getting style points this time, but the score is now 28-3 Browns. With 3:09 left in the first half, Dalton goes back to pass and is sacked. Mr. Shaughnessy again. Now on 3rd and 17 from the 22, Dalton goes back to pass again and is hurried into throwing a bad pass, and it's incomplete. That gives the ball to the Browns at their own 37-yard line, and Stafford is thrown for a huge loss by Margus Hunt. And that brings us to the 2-minute warning with your score 28-3 Cleveland. Now on 3rd and 19, Stafford hands off to Turbin, and he gets caught in the backfield. So on 4th and 20, Andy Lee will punt it away. Brandon Tate goes back to field the football and fumbles the ball. I don't think that Justin Gilbert realized at first that it was a fumbled ball because he hesitated before grabbing for the football But if you look at the replay, what a nice clean hit on Tate. The Browns get the football at the 26-yard line. Now with a minute and 46 seconds left, Stafford goes back to pass, and it's complete to Gary Barnidge inside the 10-yard line. Now on 2nd and goal, the handoff is to Robert Turbin, and he's caught in the backfield. 3rd and goal from the 7.5. Stafford calls a play-action pass and is sacked by Sean Williams coming on a safety blitz. Sacks Stafford back at the 18-yard line. So now on a 29-yard field goal by Kaimi Fairbairn, it's up and through. And that brings your score now to 31-3, and with 20 seconds left in the first half, Dalton gives off to Jeremy Hill, and he tries to make something out of nothing. And that brings us to halftime. Your score 31-3 with the Cleveland Browns on top. The Browns are showing the NFL fans another week of dominance on both offense and defense. They're getting it done with the arm of Matt Stafford this week. The running game has only produced 24 yards in the first half, but take a look at the running yards of the Bengals. 7 carries for -1 yard. And they've only had 98 yards of passing. The Browns, on the other hand, have had 245 yards through the air in the first half alone. And get this, no turnovers either. Let's see if they can play as well in the second half. Welcome back, everyone, to First Energy Stadium and our continuing coverage of our game between the Cleveland Browns and the Cincinnati Bengals. Now, to get the coach's thoughts on the first half, let's go to Eurocat Baby on the sideline.
Coach Lewis said that he is pleased that his Bengals have been able to hold the Browns to 24 yards rushing in the first half. He's not happy about the 245 yards of passing that they've given up. He knows that his team needs to put pressure on Matt Stafford into making some mistakes. He's just not making any. He also feels that the Bengals need to start executing the plays correctly in order to come back in this one. Coach Bettini said that as long as his Browns keep the intensity that they have, it's going to be fine. He said that he is especially proud of his defense right now, holding the Bengals to that -1 yard rushing in the first half. He cracked a huge smile with that one.
Well, whatever happens, the Bengals are going to have a huge second half in order to come back in this one. The Browns have the ball first, and 1st and 10 from their own 25. Stafford rolls right and sidearms it to Malcolm Johnson for a 9-yard gain. Now on 2nd and inches, Stafford pitches left to Mostert, and he gets to the 40-yard line and a first down. Now Stafford fakes the handoff and is sacked back at the 30-yard line. They're going to mark it at the 29, so 3rd and 19. And he throws long, caught by Travis Benjamin and inside the 20-yard line. Mark him at the 17, and he gets up a little shaky from that one, folks. 1st and 10 in the red zone. Stafford hands off to Robert Turbin, goes left and makes a nice move and keeps driving, but is just shy of the first down. 2nd and inches now. Stafford hands off to Turbin again, and he gets the first down, barely. Now from the 7-yard line, Stafford goes back to pass and sidearms it to Robert Turbin, makes a move and is in the end zone. Another Browns touchdown. Wow, wow, wow. That kind of looked like Matthew Stafford was baiting the defense to try and sack him. That makes your score now 38-3. The Bengals have it at the 24-yard line. Jeremy Hill gets 2 yards. 3rd and 8 now, with Dalton in the shotgun. Dalton throws left, and it's a first down to the 35-yard line for Mohamed Sanu. Now with a fresh set of downs, Andy Dalton goes back to pass, doesn't see anything, and runs for a nice 7-yard gain. 2nd and 3 now. He's in the shotgun. He throws complete to Brandon Tate over midfield to the 46-yard line. 1st and 10. He gives off to Jeremy Hill, and he's inside the 40-yard line for another 7-yard gain. 2nd and 3. Dalton back to pass. Goes long, and touchdown, caught by Giovanni Bernard. That was a huge arcing pass by Andy Dalton, perfectly thrown to Giovanni Bernard, and the Bengals get their first touchdown of the afternoon. The Browns have put in the backup squad. McCown rolls left and runs the ball, and he got hit hard at the 36-yard line. No one has taught that kid how to slide. He gets up and throws complete to Tyreek Hill over the 45-yard line for a first down. Now McCown hands off to Robert Turbin, and he's to the 48-yard line. Now 3rd and 7. McCown rolls right, and it's incomplete. That brings up 4th down, and Andy Lee to try to pin the Bengals deep again. And can he do it? It's out of bounds at the 6-yard line. So now the Bengals take over. Dalton throws long, and it's complete to Marvin Jones at the 37-yard line. Now with another fresh set of downs, Dalton hands off to Ryan Hewitt, and he's up the middle for a 7-yard gain. 2nd and 3. Dalton, passing from the shotgun, completes it to Mohamed Sanu past the 50-yard line. Now at the 48, Dalton goes back to pass again, and it's complete to Marvin Jones inside the 45 of the Browns. And that brings us to the end of the 3rd quarter. 38-10 is your score. Let's go to another update from Eurocat Baby.
Although the Bengals are down by 28 points going into the 4th quarter, you should see the team huddling together on the sidelines, trying to plan out a strategy that will get them back in this one. They know they're fighting an uphill battle, but there is no quit in this team.
Well, we've seen teams come back from 28 points down before, but they're going to have to do an awful lot to get it accomplished. The Bengals have it 2nd and 4 at the 42-yard line of the Browns, and Andy Dalton gets tackled in the backfield, sacked by left end Nick Williams. Dalton is sacked again on the very next play, this time by backup outside linebacker Ashley Palmer. And on 4th and 10, down by 28 points, they're going for it. Dalton goes back to pass, and it's complete to A.J. Green inside the 40-yard line for a first down. Dalton goes back to pass again and is sacked outside the 40. So from the 42, 2nd and 15, Dalton is sacked again, this time by Johnson Badamosi. 3rd and 18 now. Dalton goes back to pass and floats one out there, almost intercepted by Badamosi. 4th and 18, and they decide to punt it this time. Can they pin the Browns deep? And they do, inside the 5 at the 2-yard line. Can McCown bring him out of this hole? He gives off to Turbinese outside the 5. 3rd and 6 now from the 6-yard line. McCown goes back to pass, and it's complete to Tyreek Hill, but he does not move the chains. Therefore, they have to punt. Now on 2nd and 10 from their own 36, Dalton is sacked again. 3rd down now. So Dalton goes back to pass and is sacked yet again. Nick Williams taking the honors this time. So on 1st and 10, McCown pitches back to Mostert, and he has good yardage out to the 45-yard line. 2nd and 4 now. McCown pitches back to Turbin, and he's taken down in the backfield, back at the 40-yard line. 3rd and 9 now. McCown rolls to his right and passes complete to E.J. Bibbs and out of bounds at the 35-yard line. Now on 3rd and 6, McCown goes back to pass again, and it's incomplete, knocked away by Adam Jones. That brings on Kaimi Fairbairn for a 49-yard field goal, and it's through the middle. 41-10 is your score. Andy Dalton goes back to pass, and he is sacked by Johnson Batamosi again. Now on 3rd down out of the shotgun, Dalton is back to pass and completes it to A.J. Green at the 25-yard line. And that brings us to the 2-minute warning. With your score, a lot for the Cleveland Browns and 10 for the Cincinnati Bengals. So with 1:53 seconds left, the Browns take over. McCown rolls right and hits E.J. Bibbs at the 39-yard line and out of bounds. So now 1st and 10. McCown throws across his body and complete to Gary Barnage inside the 20-yard line. 1st and 10 for Robert Turbin up the middle, and he gets inside the 15. 2nd and 4. McCown hands off to Josh Gordon. I guess he wanted a snap at halfback. And with with 7 seconds left, the Bengals call a timeout. 35-yard field goal for Fairbairn is good, and then it's 44-10. Now with 4 seconds left, Andy Dalton, he's hit in the backfield, but Mohamed Sanu comes down with it at midfield, but the game is over. I wasn't in the mind of Coach Marvin Lewis, but what is Andy Dalton going to do with 4 seconds? Once again, the defense did a stellar job of plugging up the gaps and tackling the offense. The Bengals made it into positive numbers in this half of football, putting 21 yards in the books. The passing game fared a little better with 125 yards, but more importantly to each ball club is that neither quarterback threw an interception today. In last week's game against the Giants, Carson Wentz was sacked 10 times by this Browns defense. This week, they went one better with 11 sacks, and that is with the backup defense being in the game much of the second half. Matt Stafford had an outstanding day, about 2.5 quarters anyway, with 11 of 15 complete, 4 touchdowns, and 154.9 passer rating, and now has 25 touchdown passes on the season. Josh Gordon has to get huge props for having an awesome game, as well as being the AFC Offensive Player of the Week. 4 receptions for 193 yards and 3 touchdowns. What else can be said about this defensive effort today? 11 sacks. Andy Dalton has to be in a world of hurt after this game. Kaimi Fairbairn had another perfect day, 3 of 3 field goals and 5 extra points made. Next up for the Brownies are the Buffalo Bills. The Bills are 8-5 on the year and tied at the top of the AFC East with the New England Patriots. If they play up to their potential, this could get real interesting. The sports writers have this as a high-scoring game, with the Bills coming out on top. Well, time will tell. In my last episode, I said I would share with you the leaders in the selection of Pro Bowl players. 10 Cleveland Browns have made it onto the nominee list as of right now, 6 on offense and 4 on defense at this point, led by Matt Stafford. The closest any other team comes is 7 players by the Green Bay Packers, led by their NFL icon, Aaron Rodgers. Keep in mind that if you enjoyed this video, leave a like, and if you would like to be notified when there is a new one, subscribe by clicking on my icon at the end of the video. It's been our pleasure to bring you coverage of the Cleveland Browns hosting the Cincinnati Bengals at First Energy Stadium. Be with us in our next episode when the Browns will be traveling to Orchard Park, New York to face the Buffalo Bills at New Era Field. Until then, for Eurocat Baby, I'm Husker Eurocat saying so long for now and have a good day, everyone.